If your tracks don't sound as good as tracks from your favorite artists, you might be doing this one critical mistake. Let me show you how much we can improve a track using the sonic pulsation technique. This is the track before. And this is the track after the changes. If you need help with your music, the links to my coaching and my music production course is in the comments below, and let's get started. Sonic pulsation is the central rhythm or melody of the track that drives the song energy and keeps all sounds in sync. In the example that we have, the bass is that central element just because I started the track like this. So we have the main accents, the notes that give you the most energy, like the vibe of the song. On the lead sound, I'm accentuating those phrases, those notes, and the rest of the notes are a little bit different, which creates variation. Same goes for drums and percussions. You want to accentuate the main elements, and let's listen to what we have. Here's the bass line. So pretty cool, pretty simple. And now start listening to the lead sound and try to pay attention how every single note feels. I really want you to analyze and go with the feeling, especially this little section. This little phrase is a bit different to the bass sound, but it still sounds pretty clean and natural. So again, it doesn't have to be the exact notes, but if you look closer, I am repeating a lot of the notes here on the bass line as we go on the lead sound, right? So this one, but some of the notes are not the same. Let's start connecting more instruments to this. Now we have the second plug sound, which kind of like pulls you out of the mix, creating dynamics, because the lead sound and the bass, they kind of push you down into the mix, and this one is sucking you out like this. So check it out. We can also do with the drums. And you can see I am muting my plug just to give the instruments more space. So make sure that you have that space to breathe. Like not every single bar has to have all of those sounds. And the final main sound that we have is going to be the arpeggio, which creates this like backing layer, like really stable, like a floor, which the track stands on. And also, let's see. Same notes on the arpeggio creates synchronicity. So really cool. Now let's go further. If you look at the arrangement, we can use Mona Lisa analogy. So the main theme is going to be the bass and the lead. It could be something different. In this track, it's the bass and the lead. And then we have the pulsation. This is very schematic, but looking at this visually will help you to kind of break it down in your mind and imagine the positioning of the instruments, how they go in your arrangement. So this is the pulsation and this is the arpeggio. So look at this and let's listen one more time so you can connect the dots. So one more time. And the thing with this track and the way that I make music, I don't really like having like very melodic melodies, right? I like having little motifs. So for me, it's like this. neither of those elements is like this full-fledged melody. It's more like a little theme that we have. So, but this concept is applicable to any genre, right? Really cool Mona Lisa analogy. I have a full video how you can use Mona Lisa to arrange your music and make it sound professional. The link is going to be here somewhere. And to drive this point home, when all elements align with one pulsation, the track feels unified. Think of your track as a clock. Each instrument is a gear, and the groove is the central mechanism that keeps everything moving. If one gear spins out of sync, the whole system jams. But when all gears follow the same rhythm, the clock runs perfectly. The next very important thing is understanding up and down movement. I'm going to show you here. So let's start with the up. This up pushes the track up, so this little note, and we gonna analyze this. So listen to this little section specifically to how it makes you feel. If you're in a studio, you're gonna hear this really well. Yeah. Right, you can hear that this sounds creates dynamic. It's like wow, like it goes up. And then when we start analyzing the rest of the sounds, let's do with the lead. If you look at it, so those two notes kind of like go down, right? So this one is down. I think the second one, the offbeat, is actually up, right? So down, up, down. And this one, I want you to have a look at this section. So depending on whether it's the downbeat, like the strong beat together with the kick, more like it pushes you down. The offbeat pulls you out of the track. So you can think of your track as an engine, right? So the engine goes back and forth. There's a cycle. We need to have those both cycles, up and down. Otherwise, it's just not going to be very interesting in terms of the energy, and you're not going to create that groove in your music, right? And the additional plug sound, it goes up. So I want you to analyze how you feel about those notes in your mind, right? So listen to the up and listen to this. So this goes do, right? It's more like up, down, up, down, up, down. And this is what you want to master in your music if you want to make it sound professional. And the final thing is going to be this plug sound, which creates that like up movement and very good dynamics in the track. Right? You can really feel into this, and you need to pay attention to this. Here's a typical arrangement production mistake that a lot of music producers make. That was me in the past when I was learning how to arrange, how to produce. So if two or more elements fight for dominance in the same frequency or rhythm, the track will sound muddy and chaotic. It's like trying to go against the current of the river, right? It's just not making sense. The bass often sets the groove, so leads and percussion should complement it rather than clash with it. So let's break down the second example, and we're gonna go one by one so you can start hearing when we start having those problems like unsynchronicity in the track. So for example, we can do the pluck and start with this. So with the up and with the pluck, this is fine. This is pretty cool. Now we have the lead sound. And now it's a little bit messy. It's already a bit too much. So even though the notes are synchronized here, it's still just not landing. So you cannot have multiple dominating or central ideas in your track. Just not possible, like I do here. Of course, I did this like intentionally to show you, right? So this is gonna be a mess. this is already too much just because the arpeggio is dominating. Just no space for this. And then we can do even more lead sounds, and it's gonna be no, just a mess. So, and once we do the drums, all the elements are fighting for the space. So I would just use one. In this example, if we want to go with this one, it could work like this. So this could be essential elements of the track that we have with the bass, but no more than this. So like it's not perfect, but not bad. Second thing is this lead sound. Right, so you can see it's not bad, and the same with the third lead sound. You have to pick one and go with that. Pretty good. We just have to fine tune it, simplify it, and that's gonna be all we would need for this version of the track. Okay. So let's talk about different pulsations that you can have in the track. In some tracks, the bass line is the heartbeat, like the one that I have. It carries the most energy and defines the main rhythm and the melody for other sounds to follow. For example, in psytrance, the heartbeat is often 16th note bass line that drives the track energy. So those are the 16th notes, so it goes tukka 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 tukka. And then we have the lead fills, which could go as well tukka 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 if we want, or we're just going to be accentuating some of the notes of the bass line. And I do have a track which I really want to finish, but I cannot. Listen to that groove. Tukka 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 tukka. So we and then the lead goes dun 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 dun. So this is exactly like it was on the diagram, just accentuating the main notes, and the hi-hats go like tukka 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 tukka. So this is the heartbeat of this track that we have. There are unlimited amount of ways to work with pulsation. We can have a different one. So let's have a look at another one, which is going to be really interesting. We could have a sustained bass, which is neutral. It's more like this floor, this foundation. And we could have lead plug arpeggio as main pulsation and some percussion for accentuation. So it might be the drums, melody, like what have you. Just pick this one dominating element in the track and you're good to go, right? So let's have a look at this one. So in this example, we have this sustained bass line, and listen to the lead sounds and how I am building the track around it, especially the arpeggio. So it goes like tukka 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 tukka. In this case, it is 16th, the 8th notes. Like you can hear that we have this plucky lead sound. So the arpeggio creates that movement, and the plucky lead sound creates those accents in the track, right? So this is how we can do it in this sense. And also listen to little drum accents to the hi-hats, the additional elements that we have, which go together with that lead sound, making it more powerful. the hi-hat goes like this. And the final example that I want to show you is more classic tech house. And this track is built on the bass line. All the elements copy the bass line. So we have this one like unified melody, and I'm literally just using only this. Check it out. Do we have illustration for this? I mean, it's kind of similar to what we have here. So check the bass line, and then check all the sounds, the plucks, little fills that are playing on top of the bass line, but the same thing. And it's the same notes. Here, same thing. Do. Different synth, but same melody. And we just repeat the cycle like this. Same thing, right? And then here is one of the main drops. I literally just copied the melody from the bass to the trumpet. Right? Very natural, very synchronized. We have this one theme in the track, and there's no competition. Instruments are not fighting with each other, and I love that. I love minimal music when we can do it this way, right? I have a full video on this track, how to use this technique when you are accentuating different notes of the bass. It's called accent layering, so the link is going to be like here. I definitely recommend to check it out. So let's talk about how to find the heartbeat of the track. So the problem is we might have too many rhythms and ideas in the track. So here are different rhythms: idea number 1, idea number 2, and idea number 3. And it's just not possible to combine them all in one place. So instead, what we want to do is, okay, if this is, for example, the main pulsation of the track, let's take this as the foundation. Then we want to work on different accents to reinforce it. And then we want to add something more, like second accents for like even more variation to make it more interesting. And right now, all the elements are aligned, and we have this one main thing that is dominating, that is driving the track's energy. So to do it in the door, you need to listen to the track, find that main thing, melody, rhythm, just like solo, listen one by one, bass, drums, like what have you, identify, and then build the whole track around it. And you want to create a dialogue and synchronicity in your music by aligning all instruments to that one rhythm. That's the key to professional sounding music, to music that sounds interesting and I think unique as well. And if you want to keep learning about arrangement, make your music more interesting, unique, and professional, here's a playlist that I recommend you to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.